If Sheikh Gumi was a Christian, Buhari government would have condemned, arrested him for his comments. Can. The Christian Association of Nigeria has expressed worry that President Buhari's prolonged silence over some recent comments made by popular Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmad Gumi was an endorsement of his claims. One of such claims by Gumi is that Christian soldiers were the ones killing bandits and insurgents in the country. The Christian body called on Gumi to immediately withdraw the unpatriotic and divisive utterances. My G, it's too late. Credited to him in the interest of peace and unity of the country. In a statement on Wednesday, Khan said the silence of the president was an endorsement of Gumi's statements. The statement signed by CAN General Secretary Joseph Daramola partly reads, if anyone said it was the Christian soldiers who are attacking armed bandits, that person does not wish this country well and does not want the war against terrorism and banditry to end in victory. I do you know what? I wanted to say that I don't think he meant Christians, but then Christianity is another main religion in Nigeria, like the two main ones. And so if he's not talking about Islam, he's definitely talking about Christianity. It's not hard to put the dots together. But the annoying thing is, if a Christian leader would not even say those things. They wouldn't, because it's like, even if they were to be on the side of the government and, they're having their corrupt practices here or there, they won't even say anything about it. They might go preach something that's out of line, but they wouldn't have the comfort. Because again, with Christianity, it's like, you're being watched. Everything, you just breathe. It's like, is that a sin? If you breathe, it's like, everyone's already checking for you whether that's a sin or not. So then obviously you being in that position of power, and then let's say allegedly you're working with the government or whatever, and it's a corrupt thing, and you're endorsing the government's view and all that, and you say things like that, you can't, because they would come for him. And then obviously if he said that about Muslims, oh my days, whoa, that, nah. But Gumi's so-called audio evidence cannot be taken seriously, because audio evidence can be deliberately arranged to make a point. Secondly, how can we ascertain the credibility of the person alleging it was Christian soldiers that were attacking communities and bandits? It is very divisive, because I remember he sort of admonished, his people, saying that it's the ones that are not like you, along those lines, sort of just saying, it's the people that are not like you that are against you, sort of along those lines. So then it makes it seem as if non-Muslims and non-northerners of the country are like against them. And so that is a divisive tactic. It is so divisive, because it's like, in a country where we read meaning to everything, it's literally part of the culture. We read meaning to everything. So they don't even have to blatantly say certain things. We already know what they're talking about. And so when people react, it's like they're reacting, because that's very, very bad. Someone says, we recall how it continues saying, we recall our Apostle John Suleiman, Prophet Isa El Buba, and of recent the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Dr. Matthew Hassan Koka's statements were handled by security operatives and equally reacted to by the government. Do we truly have sacred cows in the country now? Ooh. That is true. I remember the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese. He was under fire. He was trending for weeks. Well, someone here says, we've taken our own portion of the country, which is the old eastern part, so it's called Biafra. Guess what? We are developing all aspects of it to form. Okay. Someone here says, let's call a spade in this country. There's no future together. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. The evidence is quite glaring from the unnecessary antagonisms against one another. It is useless trying to unite people of different cultural heritage as ours. I don't think it's useless. I feel like if the people do not want to be together, they don't want to be together. And we've just got to be realistic as to our identity. Everyone's written in their tribal identity, but as Nigerians, like, we don't have that. Like, I wouldn't really say Nigerians are patriotic. Not that I'm not even. It's not like a bad thing. It's like, why should they be patriotic? There is no foundational reason in terms of their rooting of their identity as to why they should be patriotic. This system of government, I don't even think we've like, it's like, my personal opinion is we're just here. We're just in a country, and it turns out that we have different other tribes, and it turns out that we're rich in terms of natural resources, and because of that we're now the giant of Africa. And I feel like Nigerians have been going on that wave, and I guess so you sort of use it when it's to your advantage. Everyone does that, but I think Nigerians, I don't think generally we know where we're from. No, no, we don't know where we're from, but it's like we're not rooted as like Nigeria, like, because it's so obvious that Nigeria is not meant to be a country. Like, we're not even meant to be together. And of course, because we were colonized, I feel like we need to sort of go back to the terms as to which we got our independence, because I think that's because it might make sense as to why the northern part of the country is like, no, that cannot happen. Because again, at that time, and a factor as to why we got our independence was because through the Fulani Hausa, Britain was going to get indirect rule after independence, on the condition that the Fulani would get majority seats in power. And so that's where it started of, of majority Hausa people being in power and getting appointed, because again, we are still in some ways under, indirect rule from the British. Neo-colonialism, very, very prevalent today. It's basically Africa. So it's like, because at a time, I just thought, I was like, why would Nigeria get independent from the British? What good reason? There isn't. Who even if like, I'd say it's foolish. I genuinely say that. If you had control of a country, understanding what, because you can't come here and start giving me the BS, honestly, of like, of human right and all that. Please, what in this world? We're just too much of hypocrites for us to believe that, oh, it's because of human rights, that's why we get independence. Please. Have you seen what's going on with other countries like Congo, Haiti? Yeah, let's not even talk about that. Everything is rigged. Everything is truly rigged. But I feel like as Nigerians, we need to start asking questions. And I feel like even if we're not gonna, we need to work on ourselves as a people. Definitely. I think there's so many things that our mentality has been refined from pre-colonial times, and they've just been refined, but then we can't trace these things back. And I feel like everyone's just lost because we adopt things that are not ours. I mean, I've used this example a lot, the fact that in our official language is English, for example. Nigerians don't even believe in the system of government that we rule. We don't. Because a government is meant to be a genuine contract between the government and the people. They should want to be in that. And there has to be compliance, and it should come natural to the people why they should not break certain laws. Because something just comes down to your moral character and what you believe. And that's absolutely fine. Some people might not have that, some might do. But you'd find that people will go to court, have the Quran and the Bible, and they should be like, say the truth, anything but the truth, da 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 da. And they still lie. But then if you take them to a shrine, there's still so much belief, and because it comes naturally to us. Obviously, that has been passed down in our mentality to sort of think of that as like, as holding power, I think that's what it is. I think we need to go do evaluation, because again, even if Nigeria does separate, if we do not change as people and hold the government accountable, no matter how much we separate, the same thing will happen again. Because at the end of the day, for each tribe in the country, your reflection, your people, your person isn't government betraying you. So think about that before you be like, I wanna go for disintegration. Put what you think, and do not forget to like and subscribe.